Hey, how's it going? So I'm going to give an update. So there's two databases that really matter. One is the submissions, and this is where incoming submissions from Reddit are being posted. And then there's submissions history, which is the basically the backups of submissions. Um, so after I hit the reset button here, or back up, Um, this will snip anything over 24 hours. And you can see it just updated. So I have a script that's constantly pulling stuff from Reddit, and this is how I control it here. But you can also, because you don't catch everything coming in, you can also say, just give me these subreddits, right? And for any user who sets up their, favorite subreddits here, or whatever, each time you do pull, it will go and grab those subreddits for you and then dump them into the shared database. So some of these are not working. Oh, because it's on author. Whoops. So if you screw this up, it will yell at you. But let's put it back on subreddit, and you'll see here now this is working. So you also can pick, your favorite authors and then throw them in here. And these, like this is kind of like a user's workstation. The way that I've written the code is that each one of these sections is like your own little workspace, and this will always remain whenever you come back and log in. So that's kind of nice because you can get comfy in here and it never resets. So it went and just grabbed all of those subreddits. Yep. I'll just get done. Okay. And you'll see here that because we pulled from all of these, they got dumped into this database, and there's stuff that exists in this range, although it looks very minimal, if anything, right? So, you can come in here and you could say, well, I don't know, Russian military. And we want to search not an author, but title. So these are all of the posts that have Russian military in them. You can see that, we did grab some of those historical. If I back up, you'll see that whenever I rerun this, those values will drop. Search. Right, you see. So you're always, if you're looking at like what's happening in real time in the world, then submissions is where you want to be at because it's the most recent and it's the smallest table. But if you're feeling patient, you could look at the entire history. So each time the submissions are backed up, it backs up everything, but it also cuts. So this is what I have so far stored with Russian military and the title. And as you can see, it's quite a bit of data, right? And, you can kind of look here and pick a date range, right? So maybe we wanted to look back more at like the first. And let's do the 28th, right? So now we're looking at all of the posts collected between that date range. And you can see that, you know, that there's a way of kind of sorting and arranging things in an interesting way. So for URLs, I group by URL, and then I count, you know, how many times was it seen, how many subreddits, and how many authors. And you can make with what you will about what you think about that post based on, you know, the ratios of those values. Browse just takes the most recent within the post, so starting right here, and then sorts descending. So this is, you know, just if you're scrolling most recent, right, on Reddit, URL is more of like a, this might be interesting because. But with all that information that you get, you can click download, and it will export all of that information that you see within the plot. You can see that you can search by title, text, URL, subreddit, or author, or you could do a combination with, right? So anything that has Russian military in the title or text. Now, a URL would be hosted somewhere, right? And so, for example, like if I were to look at my site, which is in here, you can see that the server that it runs on is in North America. This is the IP address to that server, and that server is actually connected to my home computer. And so this is like the gateway into my house, I suppose. But you know, you can click on it, and it would indeed take you to my site. So these are all of the domains that have been searched and found through clicking on this over here. So whenever you click on domain, the query that you ran here, right? That query has all of the URLs stripped for their domain, and it checks them across a database that allows you to figure out where that server is hosted. So this is a link in the result of this query that originated from Russia. So that's kind of cool, because now you can. So okay, but to back up real quick. So obviously, like Reddit has already been found, right? So over here in all domains, if we were to look up Reddit, right, we'd have that information here, right? So these are all the different Reddit whatever URLs. But if a new URL is found in your query, then it will be added to this database. So all domains is every domain that has been checked in this site through this process. But domain is the results based on your query here in inputs, if that makes sense. So you could also, you know, I don't know, find an interesting author. I don't know, Sweet Lane. I don't know how many people are in here or whatever. Positive source. Is there more than one? No. But we could search, you know, positive source, author, search. Right. So for positive source, the author, you know, we can see where all of their, so the United States and Netherlands. So, you know, say what you will about that specifically. Here, yeah, this is a plot of just the results. you can, I think what's interesting about this right now is that you can just kind of see like what are the sites that have been um, coming from Russia posted on Reddit, right? And so these are all of the different links that have been found through this process, right? And there's interesting stuff in here, right? Because you can look, okay, like who's posting stuff about North Korea from, or, you know, stuff from servers in North Korea, right? China, for example. So you know, this is pretty cool, I think, because you kind of create this little process of like, oh, you know, like I don't know, you can kind of get lost in here by looking at or finding something interesting and then saying, okay, we'll go pick it up, right? And then see, okay, well, you know, blah blah blah, right? So you can kind of ask for certain things and then search those things once you've asked for them. Um, yeah. All right. Cool. So I think that that's it.